Hey everybody, it's Mary here, back with another 30 Days of Inspiration. Today we're going to talk about finding friends. Like, how do you do that? What are you going to who are you going to surround yourself with to make your life rich? Because ultimately, you know what I'm going to say, it's totally up to you. So, a lot of times as we grow older, you'll find yourself surrounded by people that are kind of like hand-me-downs. You met them through a friend of a friend, you met them through a family member, it's somebody that you've hung around with for a long period of time, or that you were introduced to in some way or fashion. Sometimes those people are not like your tribe or your buddies, let me say. They're not quite a fit. And you might even think that sometimes you ended up with a person or two that are naysayers, people that always want to like pull you back, or don't like who you are about, or like critical people that are critical. So we don't need those people in our lives. This is the start of a new year. Maybe it's time to take a look at the people that you are surrounded with, because those are the people that are surrounding you, that you do want in your life, are people that are going to lift you up. Not necessarily that they won't play devil's advocate with you. I'm not saying that everybody in your life needs to be, oh, kumbaya, there's nothing ever wrong ever, because that's not really friendship either. But it's those people that hang around you that are going to allow you to be authentically you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, without judgment or criticism, right? Somebody that is in support of you. So take a look at those people that are around you. There's a good exercise that I do with clients and in my workshops, where you just take a piece of paper and you can put a T on it. And on the left side of the T, you put people in my life. And on the right side of the T, it's what is that person in my life? Who is that person to me? And that might bring about your real thoughts. A lot of times we don't take the time to take a look at this stuff, because life is busy. Let's face it, life is busy. I know that. Like, even in where I am and what I do, life is full. And sometimes we don't take the time to look at this stuff. But in moving forward, we're starting a new year, feel like you're, dusting things off, and, you want to up your game. So take a look at the people that are in your life. Do you want to keep them? Do you need to let go of some? Do you need to change some things up? And begin to take a look at that in an honest way, not like in a judgment or critical way of that other person, but is that just somebody that you want to hang around with? Is it somebody that lights your fire? The next thing is, people reflect back, the people that are around us reflect back like who we are, right? It's kind of like holding up a mirror to ourselves. And it lets other people know that you're being introduced to, like, who you are, because the people that are around you generally reflect to others like who you are. So if you're hanging around a bunch of people that are not growing, kind of stuck where they are, kind of the negative Nellies, that kind of says to other people that you might be in that boat also. So take a look at those around you, and how do they reflect back to you and what you want your life to ultimately look like. Because the key is, like, I don't want my friends to judge me. I don't want them to be critical of me. I want them certainly to be honest with me, but not in a judgmental, mean kind of way. I want them to be honest with me and say, whatever about whatever, right? Like I want people around me that are real, not the people that want to drag me down or keep me in place, because I'm on a growth path, and I hope that you are too. I hope that by listening to this video that you are on that path also. Like, you want more. You know that there's more to life and more to you, right? So the other thing is that you want the people around you that are going to challenge you to do new things. And, that doesn't always feel good, right? It feels scary. You might get embarrassed. And a lot of times those things hold us back. But if we are surrounded by people that love us, then none of that should matter, right? Because they're all in the same boat too. Like, they don't want us to fail. Like, people around you do not want, people that are in support of you, they do not want you to fail. So take a look at who's around you. The other thing is, you never have to be alone. Like, even though I live in a foreign country, I never feel like I'm alone. I mean, there are a lot of times during the day when I kind of don't know what's going on if I'm surrounded by a lot of Polish people, because although I don't speak the language fully yet, I do understand a lot of what's being said, but I still miss out on the nuances. But I never feel like I'm alone. Even in the worst of times, I feel like I can reach out to somebody and ask for help. So when you want to make sure that the people that you have around you, that you won't be intimidated to call them when you're having a bad day, when you're tripping up, when you're just like feeling blah, or when you want to celebrate your wins. You want those people in your life also, so that you can call them up and say, hey, guess what I just did. Like, you want to share that stuff. Right? You want your body to like grasp that you did something really great or different or exciting, because you want more of that. And then, in finding new friends, a lot of times, especially for me, in living in a foreign country, I'm surrounded by a diverse group of people. I've got people from different cultures in my life now, and that's been so cool. It's been such a growth experience. And how I did that, finding new friends is up to you. And I hear it a lot in the expat world, that people who live abroad, sometimes, they moved abroad because their spouse was transferred and they had to follow the spouse. And then they sit there and go, oh, woe is me. And when they're living in a beautiful country like Poland, they're, oh, woe is me. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Finding friends is up to you. People are not going to come knocking on your door and go, oh, hi, I want to be your friend. That's totally up to you. Finding new friends is up to you. And I'll tell you, the best way to do that is to go where the people are hanging out, where you want to hang out. So whether it's at the gym, at a class of some kind that you're interested in, you could volunteer, and it doesn't matter. These are things that you can do. You don't have to be in a foreign country to do these things. I'm saying even in your hometown, right? If your friends have moved away and you're like struggling to find your tribe, find people to hang out with, go to the movies with, go dancing with, go take a dance class, go take a class somewhere. Maybe you want to learn how to knit. Like, go to the yarn store. Go do something. Like, I have a ukulele here in my bedroom that was given to me by one of my clients. And every once in a while I'll pick it up and strum it. I'm not really a musical person in my head. I really want to be, but I don't know, I'm missing that gene or something. But every once in a while I'll pick up the ukulele and strum on it. But what would be a good idea is for me to go take a beginner ukulele class, right? Because then I'm going to be around people that want to do that as well. And it will spur me to do something different, doing something different. And it would scare me, right? It would make me nervous. Maybe not scare is the right word, but nervous or uncomfortable, right? But then, it'll happen. The end of the month, my husband and I have signed up to take a salsa intensive class. We love to dance. We certainly don't do it often enough, but I think it's going to be in Polish, so that'll be, and maybe it will help me to learn some new Polish words. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know what he's saying, and I just follow everybody else. So it doesn't matter. You gotta go where the people are hanging out, doing the thing that you love to do. And eventually, after a few times of you showing up, if you're going to, sit there pasted against the wall, people are not going to approach you. But if you start to get involved or start, your body language, allow your body language to say that you're open and welcome to people conversing with you or chatting with you, then it will happen over time and you'll get more comfortable at doing this. And before long, you'll have this really rich tribe of friends that you are going to adore. So the other cool thing, I just read this study that was done, I don't know, it was by Stanford Health or something, where they were doing this study on happiness. And actually, I think it was Harvard. They were doing this study on happiness, come to find out that happiness actually leads to improved health. So what can be bad about putting yourself out there, finding some new friends, even if you don't think you need a new friend? I'll tell you, it's always a good idea to bring somebody else into the mix so that you might help others in your current circle of friends meet somebody else as well. I've learned so much from people from other cultures, the way they eat, the way they entertain. The people in Poland love to have people over to their house. It's a big deal when you get invited over to somebody's house, but they entertain very differently from how Americans do. And, you may think that we're all the same, that everything is the same, and it's not. And it's been really cool for me to learn a new way of doing things. So I can introduce them to my customs and traditions, and they introduce me to theirs. So it ends up being a win-win for both of us, and we get to laugh and chuckle and talk about the things that we like and the things that we don't like, and it ends up becoming a very easy way to meet people. The other thing I read a blog the other day about this woman that started a monthly dinner at her house, at her home. And she invited people from different areas of her life. Nobody knew one another. She invited people from different areas of her life to come to her house for dinner once a month. And she would make the main course, and there were 6 women. She would make the main course, and everybody was assigned to bring something. And every month was a different type of food that was being served. So somebody's culture would suggest something, and that was going to be the topic of that night. And this woman, she didn't really know where it was going to go or if it was going to work. But 3 years into it, this group where nobody knew one another, except for the one woman that was the hostess, nobody knew one another. All of these women's lives have been changed by this group. And the book that this is talked about in is called Bread and Wine. And so, there are things that you can do, but you're the one that has to do them. You're the one that has to step out and do something different to get a different outcome. right? Like I think it was Einstein that said if you do the same thing and expect different results, like that's the sign of insanity. So are you insane? Or are you like want to go out there and create a freaking awesome life for yourself in 2024? So let's get on it. I'll see you right back here tomorrow to talk about, like who knows what. I've got a whole list of things, and whatever I happen to pull out of the hat that day is what I'm going to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe because it helps me to create more videos like this and stay focused on what you want to hear and what your growth plan looks like and how I can help facilitate that for you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Ciao.